In today's video, I'm going to do a full breakdown of the offer and funnel that we use to hit our first 100K month, $1 million month, $3 million month, technically almost $4 million month, and our plan to hit $10 million a month through offers and funnels. All right. Then if you stick around to the end, I'm going to go through yesterday's stats. I make these videos every day and I share real, no ego, no fluff, what we did in apps, calls, buyers, cash collected, all of that straight from Stripe. Last year, we did 30.5 million in our women's fitness coaching business. I share everything on this channel to share what did work, what did not work, and what we are actively doing to scale to 100 million a year, all with the goal of finding top talent, opportunities, and network. So let's get into it. So to start, this was 8 years ago. And to be blunt, I was not on the team when this was launched. So I came onto the team when this was already kind of in progress. It was doing, 20, 30K a month, something like that. And I think they had a couple bigger months, but I was not on the team when this happened. I joined at that point and was really in this process is when I was there. So they'd already found product market fit, but they were selling a low ticket recurring info product. All right. So OG days, this was, like I said, 7 years ago, probably. So price was a $27 a month app that then was a $147 lifetime OTO. Okay. So it was this women's fitness. So 40 to 6-year-old women. At that time, it wasn't even fully fleshed out that was the age bracket. It was more so the messaging was in alignment, more so than it was like a demographic specific. So it was weekly recipes, weekly workouts, weekly group call, Facebook community, like the classic online app that you see now. And like there's tons of influencer ones that just crush this model. So we were just doing Facebook traffic to a 2-step order form, meaning that it was this crazy long sales page. Yeah, that's probably a better way to say this instead of order form, but crazy long sales page that would then have them put in name, email, phone, whatever. Then they'd click and it would open like JavaScript open for them to put in the payment information. So you had that drop off rate where you could then remarket to them, right? Because you're going to get a higher completion rate on the first part. So we were selling this for $27 a month. It was actually a 7-day free trial. So it was this actually, if you want to be exact, it was a 7-day free trial that then turned into $27 a month with a $147 lifetime access. And I think it was $147. I think we tested $167, but I cannot 100% recall. So yeah, that was this. And then a lifetime OTO. It was like a 40% take rate. And the biggest issue with this model was the acquisition costs. So we were not optimizing. We were not smart enough. We didn't understand the economics well enough to both get the ad costs down to the rate they needed and also have the economics within the funnel to where this AOV made sense and the LTV like got bigger. We're also not selling them anything on the back end. So like the whole model was just broken. So we said, what do we want to do? And we were both in Sam Ovins's Up Level Consulting. That's actually where I have other videos about this, but that is where I met one of the co-founders. It was inside that group. So I made a video about this the other day, but talking about how courses and all this kind of stuff and like there's so much value in them, even just in the community and people you meet. So we moved to a call funnel that was essentially opt-in. This is hilarious, but opt-in to a VSL page, VSL to application, application to booking page, booking to success, and then get them on the phone, all of that jazz over here, and then purchase. Okay. So what we were selling though, and what the actual offer was a info product that was kind of the classic OG day of group coaching, full, just massive product that had 50 hours of content or something that you could navigate through. That was everything from mindset to unique body type to the nutrition and exercise. And like all of this basically like a do-it-yourself with the group coaching element added. Okay. So we initially had built this out. They actually had built this out again before I was even there, but they were not actively selling it. So we decided to spin up a call funnel. I have a bunch of videos talking about like how we learned this and where we learned it, but we were selling it for $497 lifetime access. Okay. Which was again, things we just didn't realize at the time. So future call or future collection, what was the ascension, where is the money in the future? What else can you sell them? Because it's lifetime access and you have like lifetime fulfillment. So $497 on the phone, which is crazy because again, economics, $497 for the phone on cost per call. It made sense at that time, but then quickly transitioned to $997 on the phone and then $1497. So this, and I wish I had this Stripe pulled up, I actually do somewhere, but this is where we started hitting our first $1 million months. Okay. So we got up to about $1 million a month and this was close to COVID-ish. This was like mid-COVID. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on here. So if I get canceled or demonetized or something. So the $1 million month was about 2 or 3 months of this. And then we were kind of just like in lull around like 800K to $1 million because it's just massive volume. right? So it was this plus like $297 a month pay plans, but it was do it yourself info product with 3 times a week coaching calls, group coaching, and a community. Okay, so pretty basic. And the beauty of this was your real costs were just like a sales rep and your acquisition costs, because the cost to fulfill on this is like sub 1%. Like it's very extremely nominal because you have a community manager and then, you know, generally speaking, the expert, which is the other co-founder who crushes, who's like the brand face and all the ads, and then was also doing the product side at this point. That's the only cost, and that just comes from distributions on the back. So this was the basic funnel. We were stuck around this range. 900 things happened in the background around this time, and building out and needing sales reps and onboarding and offboarding and like infrastructure. That is when we decided to move over to selling high ticket coaching. And we use the exact same funnel to do it. We use the same VSL to do it. We literally just changed what we offered on the phone. Okay. Now, when doing that, the price of this went from this 1,000 to 6,000 a year, which now is 7,200 a year. And we have different like pay plans and stuff. All these have different pay plans, but like this is the general gist. So we moved to high ticket coaching. Now the volume dropped, and technically at the time we were able to sell both, which got to become like it worked while it worked, but then quickly became confusing and new reps ramping and which one do they sell? And then people just leaning on this one when this is really the better offer with all of the results. All the testimonials are coming from this because, as we all know, in info, 90% of people don't even log into what they buy, which is crazy. So high ticket coaching moved into this direction. What that was for us, and a version of this still today, is one-to-one coaching. So we have a coaching staff now of 70 plus, I believe, 65, 70. They do one-to-one coaching with the client. So 4,000 active. Each coach will have 50 to 75 dedicated babes or clients. One-on-one coaching, weekly check-ins, which are like a form so they can do macronutrient adjustments, exercise adjustments, different lifestyle things, monthly check-in calls, which are done via Zoom, team huddle calls. So basically all of the clients that are are working with a specific coach. So those 50 to 70 that are with a coach all do a monthly check-in call together. Monthly check-in calls I said right there. And then team is that huddle. Community calls, these are weekly, I believe, right now. And this is with either different experts. This is with the brand face and like main person. This is with different coaches and different specifics. It's like an education or like topic specific. A Facebook community, we still stay on here for Facebook. Other people move or community still on Facebook just because it's our demo is 40 to 6-year-old women. And it just makes sense versus having like a dedicated site with a dedicated login, its own zone for the community aspect. But we do that for the app access. So like we just white label over a current one when we want to talk about building out our own. But yeah, so they get access to this, which will have all their exercise, meals, stuff like that. Same funnel. When we hit 3 million, and technically we hit like 3.8, I want to say. It was like 3.7 something. And that was with an internal promotion, but also new cash as a majority. So yeah, that is where we hit. Then things fell off the rails, went off the rails, bad. And that's where we're currently at. So this was summer of 24 that we were up in this range, closed out this entire year of 24 with that 30 million. So this is the year of 24, 30.5. But as you can see, we were coming into the end of the year bad. And like this kick right here is our internal promotion month. So we technically do like a 1,000 off external. And then we also do a internal like 5K extend, do another year. And that rate is crazy high, which is great because that means the product works and like reviews and results and all that kind of stuff are in. But that was what a big kick here was, which was great for cash flow, but not great if you looked at the math on the new units. And we knew that, right? Because acquisition went off the rails, like right here. Now, why did that happen? Because we did this. Because we just took the exact same thing and just tried to jam more through it, which is not the move. Okay. So we should have hired a CMO. We should have done what I'm about to share for the plan to 10 million when we were like in these buckets and we started to see the acquisition cost climb on the cost per unit, and we didn't. So we are feeling that today, and you'll see that in today's numbers and like still trying to get back on track. And like, we are not back on track yet. Everything in the data shows that we are going to be, but what is actually output is still not back on track. Okay. So 10 million a month. This is what the goal is. This is what we're actively doing. Low ticket info plus high ticket and mid ticket coaching. And I'll get into this. So low ticket, Right now, we are selling one of these, one product, but the goal is to have multiple. So it'll be, right now, it's a $37 thing, no order bumps, no whatever. Those are all being developed. But it's course access, it's community, and then so course access with like 19 bonuses and that are in there. It's just like tons of value, insane value, things that we have sold in the past, but we don't anymore. The community, same Facebook group community. We have a free one that is like anybody, people go in the VSL funnel and the low tickets. And then we have a paid VIP or like coaching one. So we have two groups. And then an implementation call. This is with the setter. And right now this is like cranking for us. Like I think 3 or 4 of the units yesterday came through this funnel flow. The next is the exact same thing on the back end. Okay. So we're now just selling this as I don't want to say like Trojan horse, but like an ascension play to get them into the main program. So that's what the funnel is here. So same thing. We introduced DQing and all of this. So we can do routing and put best leads with best reps. And then also, so we can throttle to make it so the calendars can stay at the optimal rates and also allow us to toggle or route to low ticket. I have other videos where I go way more into this. I don't want to bore anyone and just say the same things over again. And then what we're now talking about is group coaching style. So this exact same model, not sure what we're going to sell it for, but how we would do this in to start a retention capacity. So that's why I'm saying mid ticket here, because it'll be lower than this high ticket. Probably not much, honestly, like maybe half, maybe more. So like 4K a year, 30, I don't know. Depends on what we can back into our fulfillment costs and figure out so the margin's locked, because that's the biggest part of this. Like we keep people for LTV, yes, but we keep people for LTV. And I think Hormoji calls it like, like customer lifetime value, gross profit, whatever. It's like, that's what it is. It's what actually hits the contribution to overhead portion from this retention, not just, oh, cool, let's sell them something for 10 grand, but it costs us 9 grand. We only make $1,000. It's like, we might as well not sell them anything. I mean, not actually, but sell them something. We would rather sell them something that is, going to contribute more to overhead. So this is an interesting offer that we're talking about, because all about 10 million a month is getting the economics right across the entire funnel. So it's the acquisition mainly right now, because that's where we broke. That's why we went all the way up to whatever 3.8 or something in a month, and then dropped down to 1.6 last month. Like, not good, all because of acquisition, that marrying between marketing and sales. But now, doing this model, we solve for acquisition, or the economics around acquisition. So if we can get this to 4%, 5%, we are like in the money. 4 or 5% is like a $1,500 CPA for a $7,200 product. And that as the main AOV. Our AOV right now is like $6,900 month to date, and it's the 10th, which is like good. So if we can get the CPA down like that and have a 5X on there and basically lose 50% on the low ticket, then we're in the money, because that maths. Now, then introducing this on the back end to start and putting it in place where the people can stay, but not for the same program. So basically like, in fitness and a lot of things actually, like info and stuff, it's like once you get to the end, it's like even if you got the result or like learned it or you did not, you leave. And figuring out something that is like what is important to them. So the coaching portion, is it the community portion? Is it the, community, I guess, deeper into the community. So like being actually on with all the other people who are doing the same journey, stuff like that. So we're thinking about how we're going to offer this, roll it out into the back end, see where we can get our churn to on that. And then maybe this becomes a front end offer on this middle level for the sales call portion. Maybe not. But this is a general funnel. I have this in other videos, but same funnel, just with DQ. So based on the application routing. And then the low ticket runs its own funnel, but is also included on the middle/back of the main VSL funnel. Now, another thing we're talking about in testing, we see everyone doing, like there are people in fitness, there are people in all kinds of things that literally just run a DTA, so like a direct to app page that is a headline, a VSL, and an apply button. And like we've always done this, and we were talking about this yesterday. We're like, just because we always did it doesn't mean it's the right thing. Like when we run purchase optimization campaigns, we get like 6% opt-in rate on this page. We run a schedule optimized campaign and we get like 50% opt-in rates, 40% opt-in rates. And it's like, okay, well, it's clearly trying to do something, but we're gating 96% of the traffic, 95% of the traffic right here. So yeah, this might be just like a stupid thing we've been doing forever and we don't realize. So what we're talking about doing now is testing this. All these are just continuous tests. Like these are running tests. We're scaling low ticket right now because now we have availability and it's starting to back out. We're at 3 to 4% on this. I could do a video on an update on this when we're deeper in. the traffic here going to direct to apply, so headline, VSL, application, testimonial, whatever, on page with no cookied CTA. So someone can literally land on the page, watch it, and apply. We're building a completely new application that is more qualifying, so that because the volume you'd assume is just going to go up. So you need it more qualifying so that only the good ones make it through to the booking. A total frame that's like, this is step 1 of step 2, or step 2 of step 3 technically. And the next thing is book a call. Like, do not click this if you're not ready to book a call, because then we'll have this as a higher completion rate. Let's say 70%. Right now it's like 40% from application to booking. Then the ones that fall off, you have all the CRM stuff, you have all the setters, you have all there. And then they land on a success page that frames the call well. And then it's really, all of this. It's where do we include setters, sales, all that. Or technically we go direct to a sales call. So that's the plan. And the beauty of this is like we need to nail this first. And then once we nail this with VSL and a load ticket, essentially in like one pocket or one messaging. So like, let's call this like macronutrients for our example. Then let's dial it in. And then you can dupe the whole thing and make it around menopause. You can dupe the whole thing and make it around metabolism. You can make it, those are kind of similar, but you know what I mean? So like there are these different pieces in there that now you can break it out. So you have low ticket product that's optimized, and I'm huge about optimization. So like leaning way heavier into the optimization first, but have one that's in that niche or messaging, have another one. So you have a VSL and a low ticket, a VSL and a low ticket, and they feed each other. And then everyone just falls into this back end group, into this back end product offering. So yeah, that's the gist. That's the plan. Yesterday's stats, let's get into it. 674 leads, 134 apps, 69 calls, 6 high ticket buyers, 51 low ticket buyers, and 44, almost 45K in cash collected. So that is not good. So again, this like keeps the lights on barely when we're at these numbers, just because of how big the team is. So day prior that I shared in the video, we had done 53, but things are looking good. Things are looking really good. So how the marketing changed and like what they're learning with the newer team that's in is like understanding that the purchase traffic is way better. We're doing all of these tests. All of these are still in pocket of like, now they have booked calls with a setter, then they land on a closer and can purchase out. So not good in the short term, really good in the long term based on what we're building. So we'll see. You're going to be right here if we're going to scale to 10 or we're going to scale to 0. So that's that. Instagram for comments and messaging communication. Drop comments on this, like it, do all the things. I like when these get shared out. I think it helps the algo. So yeah, talk soon.